Good evening. The debate over religion in public schools landed on the doorstep of the TDSB tonight with a large crowd of protesters demanding an end to Muslim prayer sessions. CTV's Natalie Johnson joins us now with the latest. Natalie?
Yeah, Bill, for 3 years now, Friday prayer services for Muslim students have been held at Valley Park Middle School in the Don Mills and Eglinton area. Now, tonight, critics came together to protest, saying there's no place for that in a public school.
Their signs held high, the crowd of many faiths stood largely together.
We want to see consistency.
200 strong, they were there with a message, calling Friday prayer services for Muslims at Valley Park Middle School unfair and out of place.
Public institutions should be kept secular, that there's no place for prayer of any kind.
When you go to school, you're not there to go to church or to go to mosque or to go to temple.
Also in the crowd, people with no problem with religious accommodation, so long as it's applied consistently to all faith groups.
I was forbidden from preaching my beliefs to those who wanted to be taught. And praying, just praying, was forbidden.
Christians are kind of suppressed, and it's the injustice of the issues.
The board's director of education says the policy is to be inclusive and says he stands by the prayer services at Valley Park Middle School.
This particular decision is it wasn't done in isolation. It was done through the local leadership of the school, working with their parent community to meet the needs of our students.
Now, this protest began as a debate about religion in schools, but with so many faith groups here, it very quickly became a debate about religion itself. Fights broke out with a few Muslims who showed up to support the board's decision.
I find that people here aren't being, open-minded.
We know what you people are like.
Right? You don't even know who I am.
Omar Kwayam, a Muslim teacher with the TDSB, says in this situation, Muslims are simply an easy target.
I just find these people to be disingenuous. They're not here to defend liberal values or secularism.
But his opponents say this kind of fighting is the very reason religion shouldn't be allowed in schools in the first place.
That's why there's got to be a separation of church and state. And religion should be kept out of the public school system.
The board says that's not about to happen.
And the board says not only does it want to accommodate its students, it is obligated to do so under human rights codes. Reporting live, I'm Natalie Johnson.
Welcome to Omni News South Asian Edition. I'm Angie Sapp. Well, school is out, but a multi-faith coalition is hoping to teach the Toronto School Board a lesson. The loosely formed group is upset that during the school year, Muslim students are allowed to take time out of class to pray on Fridays inside the school cafeteria. Alda Halim brings us the latest.
They're demonstrating with the hopes the Toronto District School Board is listening.
We're doing our first phase in our war against pseudo-secularism, multi-faith event, as you can see.
Members of the Canadian Hindu Advocacy, Jewish Defense League and Christian Heritage Group are voicing their concerns about 300 to 400 Muslim students at Valley Park Middle School participating in Friday prayers during the school year. But the TDSB says participating students do so voluntarily and with parental permission.
This has been going on for 3 years at Valley Park, and the complaints came outside of the school community. And again, part of that is that this was done, not in isolation, in collaboration with that local community.
There was a small counter-protest in support of the TDSB's stance.
We're all here to coexist in a multicultural society, so thank you to TDSB for standing up for Friday prayers.
By allowing the prayers to take place, Ron Banerjee believes the TDSB is showing religious favoritism.
Well, it means that only the Muslims are being allowed to do these prayer sessions in the school, and the other religions are not doing it. So this is religious favoritism, it's pseudo-secularism, and it's the first phase of a long struggle. We're going to be fighting, and we are going to be winning this.
I don't think it's right to call this favoritism. The question is on a case-by-case basis. Can a religious practice and should a religious practice be accommodated reasonably within that school institution or within that service or within that employment environment to the point of undue hardship?
This human rights lawyer says accommodation issues are always difficult to gauge.
Ontario's Human Rights Code, as well as the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, do provide a guarantee for freedom of religion. And the idea is to not interfere with a person's ability to practice their religion. So in this case, I think the school board is right to provide space for prayer to allow students to carry out their religious beliefs and practices without interference.
I got news for you. That ain't going to happen.
Undeterred, organizers say they will not stop their drive to stop the prayers from taking place inside the school, and vowed to continue the protests and keep the pressure on the school board. Adil Halim, Omni News, Toronto.